house, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
There he is.
Let's do this.
The truth is gonna hurt, okay?
Nice.
It's because it's gonna happen right in your face. He's here to break down all the UFC action. It's Brandon Vera. Yeah.
Bud Light, baby.
Yeah, baby. Brandon, before we get into the action that happened last weekend, and boy, was it insane.
The stuff, you mean the fights that happened last weekend that I've been watching almost every day?
Right?
Every day on record, yeah.
Can you tell our friend Ashley to get it? She was out of town all weekend.
You never got it?
She was out of town, and she couldn't watch it. And I tell her, you have to get the replays, because it was such a crazy card.
Yeah, actually, no, you don't have to get the replays. You just have to come to the house.
There you go.
No, I will, because that was my thing, is I'm like, I can't afford it.
Well, either I'll loan you the money or you go to Brandon's, because
Really?
It's, yeah, I keep watching them. Like, I'll come home from practice.
Yeah.
And press play.
Really?
Pick fights, press play, yeah, over and over again.
Every single fight.
Card,
The whole card was crazy.
It was a Fox card? I can't.
No, it was pay-per-view. It was pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was amazing. I couldn't remember if it was pay-per-view or
I know.
Fox, but it was...
Well, it's like every weekend.
Yeah.
You know, UFC, I mean, it's what's great about it, if you're a fan of MMA, is that you're just almost every weekend you get fights, you know, whether it be free or pay-per-view or whatever.
Yes.
Anyway, the reason why I'm hyped, and we're going to talk about these fights in just a second, is the card that you're on. It's going to be August 31st, right?
164 UFC, Milwaukee, Wisconsin is amazing.
They are starting to load this card up.
First it was like, we'll just put this here and this here.
Right. Well, you were the first fight announced for that card.
Yeah.
You're taking on Big Ben Rothwell, which is a
sir.
great fight in the heavyweight division. Brandon's back at heavyweight.
Back at heavyweight.
Which, by the way, we're filming this. You can see Brandon. He's wearing a tank top right now.
Sorry.
What's up, dude? Ho-ho-ho! Look out!
Yeah.
Right?
I've been training. I've
Yeah.
been off for a year. I've been training for a year. You know?
I can tell.
So,
You look the best I've ever seen you.
Thank you.
You're all ripped.
Yeah,
thank you.
You're
I
all
feel
kinds
good.
of ripped.
Thank you.
And they they're adding to this card. This card is getting outrageous, man.
Before we go into the card,
Yeah.
you know, they made our announcement first for me fighting Rothwell at 164, and I know Alistair Overeem was supposed to be on there as a rumor, and then all of a sudden they started loading it.
Yeah.
The wife, Carrie, actually tried to book tickets. I'm sorry, not tickets, hotels. And everything sold out.
What?
Look, it's already 3.5 months away.
You're kidding me.
It's already sold out. Like 4 months when we found out. It was
Damn.
Even though
over
you're
3 months.
fighting in it, like
Everything.
Do
is
you
sold
make
out.
your own arrangements?
Yeah, yes. For our
I didn't
family,
know that.
for family and stuff like
Oh,
that,
okay.
we do. For our flights and hotels, the UFC takes care of us, but
Okay.
for our family.
So if anybody else wants to go,
Yeah.
you
So
got
we're trying to get our hotels and stuff.
Right.
Everything sold out. We were like, why? Because it's the 110th year of Harley Davidson's anniversary. It's a huge Harley Davidson
wow,
anniversary.
okay.
So the UFC is doing this thing with Harley for
conjunction.
their 110th anniversary
Got it.
in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where Harley's from. So it's nuts down there right
dude,
now.
you're gonna end up in like Green Bay or something.
No, I don't think
You know? Yeah, so you got to check out this card, man. Not only is Brandon taking on Ben Rothwell, it's the return of Josh Barnett to the
Josh
UFC,
Barnett.
former heavyweight champion,
Yeah.
taking on Frank Mir.
Frank Mir, yeah.
Dude, that's a fight that people have been asking for probably
Forever.
10 years.
Yeah,
right?
forever.
You know, because
Forever.
these two guys came up at the same time. Josh Barnett beat Randy Couture for the heavyweight title back in the day.
Right.
Frank Mir was a rookie coming in, you know, breaking people's arms left and right.
Yep.
And Josh had a falling out with the UFC. He left. You know, there was some issues with steroids and something like that. Frank Mir then went on to win the championship, and so they never met. And
my
so
gosh.
now that 10 years later, these guys are going to fight.
Happening.
It's crazy,
Finally.
man. Clay Guida, one of our favorite fighters,
Yes.
taking on Chad Mendes, the ¡1 contender.
That's sick.
Great
That's going to be a
fight.
fast fight.
Holy cow, man. I'm telling you, left and right, this card just keeps getting crazier and crazier.
Travis Brown.
Yo, dude.
Star Overeem.
Ooh, that's another fighter who's looking real ripped.
Travis Brown is a good friend of the show.
Yeah.
He's been on our show a bunch of times, taking on one of the toughest guys in the division, Alistair
Alistair,
Overeem.
yeah.
Oh,
It's going to be awesome,
sick
man.
card, man.
Sick card, yeah.
And it's a bunch of
there's
heavyweights.
There's another heavyweight fight that they put on. Oh, no. Those are the ones I was thinking about.
Yeah, dude, it's just going to be a great card, man.
Doesn't stop, man. Doesn't
164 coming up in August. Brandon's going to be fighting, making his return to the cage. Can't
Where I
wait.
can eat, baby.
Yeah. No more starving yourself, man.
Right?
Yeah, dude, this is going to be great. All right, let's get into, speaking of heavyweights, What did we see this past weekend? Holy
Explosions
cow!
is what we saw.
Yeah,
Explosions, unbelievable
I still
stuff.
can't wrap my head around that Junior Dos Santos fight. Junior Dos Santos taking on Mark Hunt.
Did he look pretty good?
Dude,
Yeah.
First round,
holy cow.
kind of.
Pretty good.
First round, kind of. Mark Hunt was putting the pressure on. Junior looked kind of timid and nervous. He wasn't moving a lot. Didn't try for the takedown, but he got out of the round. And I think I would have gave the first round to Hunt by very slim edge, just because he was pressing forward more. Second round, Junior came out, stood with him a little bit more, started getting better of the exchanges, started moving, and then near the end of the round, he took him down. Third round came out, man, Junior just looked on fire. Yeah, Junior footwork started coming in, he started bouncing, his head and shoulders started moving. Man, he did it.
Do you think that gave him confidence, being that he knew that, hey, I can take you down, I can stand up with you now, I can do whatever I want?
I think all of that came into play, plus the fact that Hunt hit him with a couple of good shots and Junior just wore him.
Well,
no problem.
Speaking of hitting somebody with shots,
Man,
Junior hit Mark Hunt with, I think, the biggest shot I've ever
The death
seen.
blow. Let's call it a death blow.
Honestly, it's the biggest shot I've ever seen any human being get. He literally started from the ground behind
From
him,
Tijuana. He was
from Tijuana, all the way around and clocked Mark Hunt as hard as you can hit a human being. Where Mark Hunt has an anvil for a head, like he does not. He dropped.
Like you can't say like dropped.
Yeah.
It's probably a nice word.
Like if you pulled a rug out of somebody and his legs went out from under him, it was kind of like that.
And he was standing asleep already,
Yeah, it was.
so he couldn't catch himself.
I mean, he hit him so hard, but the fight continued. Like Hunt just got back up.
No.
He hit the deck, sleep already. He hit the deck, boom, automatically rolled, and then just got up smiling.
Yeah.
No.
This guy's a different kind of human being.
He's
He's a different kind of human being. Like at that point, if I'm Junior, I'm like, okay, well, like that's as hard as I can hit you.
Take down.
That's as hard as I can hit you, and you got up.
Yeah.
But that did it. It's still. It goes to the third round, like Brandon said. Junior starts to take over, and talk about the ending of that fight.
The ending of the fight, Junior was just finding his rhythm. What happened at third round? What started it?
Well, he caught him with a shot, wobbled him a little bit,
one?
and then
It was a right hand?
yeah, I think it was.
It was a right hand, caught him. No. It was a jab that caught him first. It caught him with a jab, stumbled Mark back. Sorry, I'm replaying the fight in my head.
Like a million fights in your head.
It was a jab to Mark Hunt's jaw, and it rocked him. Like, because Mark Hunt ran into it, and Junior just threw a hard jab, stiff one. Rocked him. Mark Hunt kind of wobbled, walked backwards. Then all of a sudden, Mark Hunt started circling to his left. Junior hit him with a crazy right hook. It was a crazy right hook. Something I've never seen Junior throw. Wobbled him again. You could tell that Mr. Hunt was tired. Like, he just started breathing heavy. There was no more footwork, and the hands were down by the chin.
Yeah.
And, Mr. Hunt's been in there for a long time. Like, he just looked tired.
Yeah.
And that was a good pace. That was a hard heavyweight pace.
And they were it was Rocky style, man, just
They were just
banging.
So Rock'em Sock'em Robots. And he was just standing there. He stood there in front of Junior. And Junior just kind of went with it. Spinning heel kick.
No.
Yep.
Clipped him.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
So Vitor does it 2 weeks ago.
No.
And Junior Dos Santos throws a spinning wheel kick and connects.
No.
Right on the head. Right by the
What?
temple.
Mark Hunt collapses to the ground, and Junior continues, jumps on him with more punches.
I think 2 good ones, and the referee jumps in. Yeah.
It was done.
Oh my
It was one of the craziest
gosh.
fights I've ever seen.
And Junior even said in an interview, he's been practicing it, but he's never thrown it until that evening.
How about
never
that?
thrown it, even in practice. He's never even thrown
Brandon,
it.
how do you decide in a fight with there's so much on the line? Junior Dos Santos, he wins the fight, he gets a rematch against Kane for the heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
How do you just decide to throw a technique that you've never thrown before in a fight?
I think honestly, all fighters can agree with this. You drill something so much and so often, you dream about it. Sometimes you just walking around, and when you're walking, you'll think about the step that leads to that move or whatever. I think it just happened. It just happened. He's drilled it so much, it happened. He probably didn't even realize he did it until after he landed. He was
That's
like, whoa, it worked.
Right? This almost shocked him.
Yeah, so I think that's what happens. And it happens all the time. Fighters do stuff that they've been drilling. it just happens.
So
It's
is there a
autopilot.
technique out there that you've drilled that you've never done in a fight that you're like, oh, I can't wait till I get to throw this? Or,
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3. Yeah,
Nice.
And they're not moves that I try to set up to do. They just kind of happen. Like one of them's happened before in practice, and everybody lost their mind when it happened in practice. So it could happen. It
Really?
could happen. Yeah.
Oh, I want to see it now. I don't even know what it is. I want to see it. That'd be awesome. So that was the co-main event.
Yeah,
it wasn't even
that
the main
was the
event.
co.
The main event is Cain Velasquez, Bigfoot, and that fight, kind of a carbon copy of what we saw the first time, right?
Mm-hmm. Except for the fact I thought it was going to go a little bit different because when Mr. Velasquez came out and he shot on Bigfoot stuffed.
He stuffed him
2
a
of
few
his shots.
times, yeah.
Kane's face after the second shot was like, let's try this one more time. Yeah, we're going to try this again. Yeah.
I'm Cain Velasquez. Like, why isn't this working?
Did you not know that I'm supposed to take everybody down?
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of what his face looked like. And then he shot in on a third one and took him down. Then, yeah.
Well, then,
they said, yeah.
well, then again,
exactly like the
it was
first fight.
one of those things again where Cain, I think, gets confidence and goes, "Now I can do what I want. I can either take you down or I can punch you
Yes,
out."
yeah.
And he did. He caught him with a pretty sick right hand,
Yes.
directly to the jaw,
Yeah.
and Bigfoot just dropped.
Good night.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And so Cain Velasquez, it sets up the third fight between these guys,
Jr.
the rubber match,
The
Oh, I can't
trilogy.
wait.
Cain
That's
and
cool.
JDS.
Last time they fought was one of the best fights I've ever seen in UFC. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah.
Like, insane.
It was one of those things where it was shocking to see Junior Dos Santos in that position because Junior, he had been destroying people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for Cain to come back the way he did and pretty much dominate that fight.
The whole fight.
Right.
Yeah,
it was
dude.
shocking.
But
Oh,
for
I can't wait.
Junior to be taking the beating that he did,
Yeah.
and just keep getting up and
Right.
keep getting up and
Right.
keep getting up,
He
like
would not
that's-
lose.
Yeah.
That's the heart of a champion. That's what a champion is, you know. That's
Yes.
exactly what a champion is.
Right.
So it's good. I'm
Yeah.
excited, man. I'm really excited to see that fight again. I want to go see that one live.
Yeah,
Like, I wanna go see that
that's one
live.
you definitely
Hint,
want to
hint,
see.
UFC. But like,
Yeah.
Me too. Can I come?
Hint,
The whole crew, hint,
yeah.
the whole crew
Entourage,
wants
hint, hint. Yeah, we'll go. As long as it's in Vegas. Because we want to gamble. What? I'm sorry.
Can you have it in Vegas and we'll be there for
Yeah,
that?
hint, hint. Yeah, because they're talking that this trilogy, this third fight, may be in like a giant stadium, like
Yeah.
either Dallas
What?
or Mexico City
Shut up.
or something like
Mexico
that.
City could happen because it's Cain.
Yeah.
It's Cain Velasquez. You know, he's a great Mexican champ. Like he does a lot of stuff, promotions and stuff for the Mexican folks. I don't want to say Mexican people. So it sounds weird.
No, that's
Mexican folks.
we're okay with that.
It's just, you know, he does a lot of stuff for. He gives back.
His
a
community,
lot. Yeah,
and,
for his
and
community.
his people, yeah, no doubt.
So I can see. I can
Mexico
see it
City
happening.
would be crazy.
That would be nuts.
That would be crazy,
That
you know.
would be really
And that's the
cool.
thing about the UFC. It's so gigantic now that they can do that. They
They
can
just go wherever they want
You know,
now.
they're talking about stadiums in Brazil, in Mexico City,
Stadiums.
Philippines.
Come on, stadiums.
Dude,
Araneta Coliseum.
What
We're waiting
up?
for Thriller in Manila #2.
dude.
Hint, hint. Elbow,
Hint,
elbow
hint, Bud
again.
Light, hint, UFC, hint, we'll all go. What? That would be rad.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, lots of great stuff. Like I said, all of the fights on that card were pretty incredible.
Amazing,
You know,
yeah.
you had T.J. Grant upsetting Gray
Yes.
Maynard.
Yep.
You know, you had
That was a
Cowboy.
crazy fight.
Cowboy beating KJ News.
Yep.
I mean, it was just
Fight.
all these fights were just sick. It was a great card, man.
I'm trying to think of a boring fight. There wasn't.
There wasn't
All
one.
of them were good.
I mean, even the undercards were all
Yeah,
good fights.
The
you know?
undercards were nuts.
Some
Yeah.
weird judging in the earlier fights, I thought, but you're gonna get that.
Judging.
Yeah,
That's
what
how
can you
it
do?
goes.
Yeah, they don't put it to the judges.
Yeah.
Can't.
Don't let it.
And you know, it's so easy to say. Don't leave it to the judges.
Yeah.
But man, sometimes you're hitting this guy as
Yeah.
hard as you can.
Sure.
And he's not falling down.
Damn it.
And he's thinking the same exact thing that you're
Yeah.
thinking.
It's not like you go into a fight going, boy, I hope this one goes to the judges. You're out there trying to win, you know?
Yeah. And when it goes to the judges, you're like, oh God.
Let's hope.
I
Oh,
do think
please.
there's fighters out there though, Brandon. You can tell me if I'm wrong.
Greg
that-
Jackson came. I'm sorry.
Oh,
what?
said it,
Yeah,
meant it.
Sorry.
there's fighters out there that they fight to make sure they don't lose
Yes.
as opposed to fighting to win. So there's two types of fighters out there. There's two types. They fight to
ma'am.
win,
No doubt.
or they fight to not lose. And the
Yes.
ones that fight to not lose, are okay with taking it. Like Frank Mir is one of them. Where sometimes he shows up, I'm like, all right, you're here to fight. Sometimes I'm like, you're here not to lose.
Yep.
So like those are the ones.
That's a
that,
mentality, I think.
Yeah,
You know?
It is,
it
it
is
is.
totally a mentality.
And you
how
know
you
what?
train.
I just sent out it's kind of cheesy, but I sent out a Facebook tribute to Mr. Forrest Griffin.
Oh, nice.
You know, he
Who just
recently
retired,
yeah. So, I put something up there about him. I said, thank you very much for everything that you've given to the sport. and thank you for always fighting.
Thank you.
Right.
Forrest is one of the fighters that
Win or lose, he's in the fight.
yeah,
Absolutely.
he could be losing on every card,
He doesn't
every
care.
round of a 5-round fight, and the 5th round he's still gonna try to finish you. You
Yes.
know,
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's what's
he's
up.
one of my idols. Like it's impressive to watch him fight just because he's
Absolutely.
bringing it.
No doubt.
So yeah, big
Absolutely.
point. Big
You're
point.
one of those guys, Brandon.
I don't
August
like the
31st,
fight.
man.
Let's
Let's
go.
do this.
Finish it.
Let's
We're
end
trying
it.
to finish the first round.
Yes,
Get
please.
out. Go eat.
Get your paycheck and get out. That's it, baby. I cannot wait. All right, Brandon Vera, The Truth Hurts, brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go. All right, Brandon, cool, man. We'll see
Bye,
you next
guys.
week.
Thank you so much.
Right on, brother. All right, take a break.